Welcome, guys, to new episode of Rich and Rich FC. I'm your host, Rich, with my guy, Rich. We're back again for a new episode. Rich, how's it going, man?
Lo- And it's lovely. You know,
Wow.
we're winning so much we don't know what to do.
Oh, you sound like someone I know, man.
So much, and the Dow is over 50K, so it's popping.
Hey, you sound like my uncle right now, man. Be careful. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to Uncle.
You don't want to
But
trouble.
hey, I ain't saying no names, but you really know how it is, man. But we had a lot of games. Good week. Another good week coming up as well. Last weekend was a good day for Arsenal. Uh, this week it might be another one. It might not, because they have a tough opponent. Tough opponent. So, but let's start off with Champions League. Gotta do a little recap on that. Atletico played
Yes.
Leverkusen, Olympiacos, Inter, Bodo Glimt, Newcastle, Karabag. Then we had Madrid, Benfica, PSG, Monaco, Juventus, Galatasaray, and Atalanta, Dortmund. Where do
Mhm.
you want to start? Hmm.
I mean, we can start with Bodo Glimt,
Bodo Glimt, huh?
Norway team. Uh, if you check their record, I mean, they've beaten some big teams. So surprisingly, they haven't even started their season.
They've
Um,
won the last five too. Hmm.
yeah, so they have some good momentum going into the next round of 16. So depending on the draw, you can't take them lightly, obviously, and
Yeah,
it's a big win for them, especially to beat a team like Inter. So shout outs to them, man.
yeah, they've been playing great stuff. They beat Man City, they beat Atletico away, and then they beat Inter twice,
Mhm.
home and away. So that's a tough run right there, you know.
Yeah,
So yeah, they're doing great stuff. Let's see how far they can go because by the
yeah.
thing, I think round of 16 is where they end though, but hopefully not.
Well, they don't have anything to lose, and that's a dangerous. You don't have anything to lose, and you have everything to gain. So obviously, I mean, they're hyped, and it's a good moment for them. It's a good moment for soccer too, or football.
Yeah. It seems like they already qualified for Champions League next season. So, or qualification round, I'll say. But I think nowhere goes to qualification. But yeah, it seems like they're having a great moment right now. Hopefully, they give their next opponent a good matchup. And then we should enjoy some more Bordeaux Glint or Buddha Glint football, let's say.
Yeah,
Now, next up, we have who do you want to go with? Juve Galatasaray? Because that was a drama game. Hmm.
it goes to UV and Galatasaray.
Yeah.
Uh, Obviously, red cards affected both games.
Mhm.
First, the first red card in the first game kind of uh, kind of really messed up the 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 tie for UV because they got another red card, but at home it seemed like they found an extra gear, and at the end, their fans were clapping for them because it's not always about whether they actually. It's not always about how you lose. Well, it's not always about how you win. How you lose also matters,
All right.
and they went out, fighting, and they went out. Even the red card was kind of like it's a red card technically, but it's like he jumped up. There's no
It's
proof.
unlucky.
Yeah, it's very unlucky. So, I mean, it was a good performance, and they gave up. They gave a good battle at the end, and they almost had it in the overtime. But shout out to
Hmm.
Oshima.
Oh
He's
yeah.
he's picking his value up. Not that he needs to. Everybody knows. Obviously, he's a top striker. Obviously, don't know how he got Galatasaray, but it's all about money at the end of the day. So that could be the reason, but it's working out good for Galatasaray. I mean, We'll see what they can do. But anytime you have a top striker like that, you can you can say you're in the game for sure.
Yeah. And he gave them a boost, especially coming back 3-0. And
Yes.
then even though they lost the game, they won. They didn't need to tie the game. They just needed the goals. So yeah, they did great. They
Yeah.
really took it to them. The Juve side was on good on their day. But I guess it kind of also works out for Juve because now they can focus on the league. You know, they can kind of pick their form up because recently it's been going downhill.
Yeah, it's not the old movie that you're used to,
Hmm.
heading towards Man U type vibes.
But they started the season pretty well, so hopefully they can pick up their form from the beginning of the season and maybe do something great with it. Maybe win the trophy. But
Trophies. They're not
uh,
gonna win the Italian Cup.
I mean, they could,
No, it's not possible.
but we'll see. We'll see. Next up, we have, I mean, Newcastle. It was a given. Let's talk about Madrid Benfica. That's a headliner. Uh, depending on the drama from the first game with Vinicius and Cristiani, and whether he was going to play the second game or not, and other suspensions around it and all of that. But it was a good game. What do you think?
Yeah. It was a good game. But we can rewind back to the Christianity thing, racism.
Hmm.
uh, Um, Obviously that happened, and then they suspended him. But the rumor is the Cristiani gave quotes to UEFA that he didn't say racist things to you. He didn't say any racist thing to you.
Oh
He
man,
said something like gay.
yeah.
I'm like,
The f- him saying that he didn't say anything racist, but he said something homophobic doesn't make it any better.
that's the word, homophobic. I'm like, you do understand that either or
Yeah.
is supposed to be saying that. So
So
we,
I don't
we
know. I don't know what he was thinking, honestly.
if you're gonna lie, lie like something that makes you at least looks good.
Yeah. But something
But
like exonerate you or make sure that you don't get
yeah,
trouble. Because either way, you're in trouble now.
yep. And what we also have to keep in mind that he is like a 20-year-old kid from Argentina, and Argentinians have been known to be, a little bit racist on the side. But that's a story for another day. But to the actual game, I think Benfica started off really good. Obviously, Real Madrid have one of the better goalkeepers in the world.
Right.
So really earned his salary on that day. And then, with Real Madrid, they have players that can decide games. And that's why, the removal of Xabi Alonso makes sense because, the players that decide games, and those players have to be in a good mood whether you like it or not. And obviously Zabi and Vinny were not getting along, but since Zabi has left and Arbeloa has come in, I don't even know how much importance Arbeloa is to the team other than the fact that he makes everybody comfortable. But you see how Vinny's performing now. He's scoring goals and he's deciding without Mbappe or with Mbappe. He's definitely picked his form up. Even in the classical, he scored like a wonderful goal. He decided both games basically in the tie to
Yeah.
get you to the 15. So, I mean, that's how important, a coach can be for a player, and also detrimental for a player, because if you're not vibing with the coach, it can mess with your mood. And if it messes with your mood, now you're like, man, you don't even want to play. So you
Yeah.
can now see the difference.
Yeah, but it seems like Abeloa is more like a manager, like man manager, because he doesn't really, like we said before, this team doesn't need a coach. Like, you just have to manage the egos, make sure they're in the right positions here and there, give them little tweaks, tactics, a little bit, nothing crazy, and they'll do the job. They are. internationals for their national teams, and they should be able to understand the basics of playing and how to win a game collectively. You know,
Yeah,
so
the
I don't
yeah the,
think team like Madrid really needs like a tactical coach to come and make sure they play well. They don't need that.
yeah most talented players aren't looking for a coach to tell them what to do exactly. Go here, go there, do this, do that. Just set them up for the game, give them, the tactics that they need to utilize. And then the main thing is for those coaches, you need to have the balls to take out some of the bigger players when you
Yeah.
need. So the substitution patterns, players you start and players you don't start.
Yeah.
Sometimes may have to bench one of those players. And that's all it comes down to. But in terms of like the pattern of play and all these different formations, like one time, Fran Garcia was playing in Vini's position and Vini was on the bench. I'm like, Fran Garcia, come on, out of everybody.
Yeah, it's one of those where the coach needs to understand where he's at. You know,
Yeah, yeah,
if you can do these things at smaller clubs. Sorry to Leverkusen, but compared to Madrid, it's a smaller club. You can do that over there. You can go to Bournemouth and do that. You can go to even now Spurs and give them something new. You know,
you can go
but
to Spurs, whatever you like.
true. But teams like Madrid, Arsenal, even Arsenal, yeah, let's say even Arsenal, Liverpool, you
More could,
can change a lot because you have top talented players. They need to be at their best, So you try and tweak things to make sure it fits your system doesn't work for them.
yeah.
Look,
It's not the,
look at the difference between Amarin and Carrick now. Carrick is looking like a top coach, not because he's been in the position for a long time or has been in the business for uh a lot of years, but it's because he's doing the basics right. Amarin was trying to make sure his tactics were right, but he didn't suit the players.
yes.
To where the difference is, United had top players in the wrong system. And
Yeah.
I love the same thing with Xabi Alonso.
Yes, and where you see the whole thing with Amorim is the tactics and all of the formation is just complicates things, especially for players that are not used to that. They're not
Mhm.
coming academy and they're not playing in that style. These are
Yeah,
international players that are playing for their team. They're going to be at World Cups. They're not people at Sporting who are going to be sold, hopefully, to the biggest clubs.
yeah,
So you them like children, like the whole Kobe Manu issue. How do you, and then the whole Bruno thing, and also just you know, one thing Carrick did, he benched Sesko. They bought it for 30 minutes. He said, "Stay right here.
yeah.
We
You're
have
not there yet.
You're not there yet." And then we have these players that are there. They're proven in the Premier League, and even in Bournemouth, he's not a typical striker, but somehow he's getting the best out of him at that position, and he's
Mhm.
still score goals. He installed Mano in there, and Mano is balling. He's looking like he could go to the World Cup again. And player that the coach said, "Oh, yeah, it's him or Bruno," and it's not. And it's just sometimes these coaches who think they know everything, they complicate things. Even Pep, sometimes he complicates things. Where it's like detrimental to the team. So I think with the main thing with the coaching is just keep it simple and allow the players to show their talent and
Yeah,
give them and play the best players.
yeah.
Obviously,
Especially when you go to teams that are like have a lot of talented players, you just have to play to the player's strength. You can First of all, you need to win games. That's the basis of it, right? You win games, so you put the players in the best positions that they can be the best in that position. So Bruno, you put him at a 10. He's best at a 10.
yeah,
Probably one of the best in the Premier League.
I think he's the best 10 in the Premier League.
Arguably, yes. Um, you put Mbuemo on the wing, where he's best. or put him a strike where he can be efficient. Put in Cunha, put in Diallo, put Menu there, put Ugarte or Casemiro next to him.
Dogu,
You know,
Dogu, I don't even know. I didn't even know Dogu could score goals until Carrick came.
actually, Dorgu was very good at Lecce until he came to United and started playing. At Lecce, he believed he was a wing back, right? So
Mhm.
him going up and down is normal for him.
Yeah,
He
I
also
understand.
has goals in his game sometimes. So Amorim not playing him in his best role or trying to even with Amorim, he was decent, right? It's just that he was restricted. And I think that's what it all falls down to. Restriction. When you restrict players and depend on being in their best positions, it becomes a problem.
Yeah, all I know is it's good that Amorim left because that guy was sinking the ship.
Mm. Really bad.
It's just like when I saw him at the Grimsby game, that's when I'm like, you gotta fire this guy. He thinks at Grimsby.
Yeah.
Grimsby could never play.
You know, in the FA Cup, it happens. Sometimes you get upsets. I mean, look at Crystal Palace. They lost to a non-league team,
Crystal Palace is a different story. Maybe they
and they're
sold,
defending champions. So,
they,
you know,
well, they sold them. So
yes, they
that's
did sell all their best players, but I felt like
even Matata wants to leave now. He's on his last move.
Crystal Palace are at the end of their best. They have to regroup and go again. But ultimately, Abeloa came to Madrid. He's doing the job. He's doing what Alonso is supposed to do: win games, get in the top of the league, have them still in the Champions League. Win and let Vini, Mbappe, Bellingham, all these players flourish. You know,
Yeah,
because they carry Madrid essentially. So you need to make sure these players are happy and they're flourishing. It seems like Abeloa is doing that, and you can see that on the field. You know,
definitely.
so hopefully Madrid can get past the round of 16, where they might meet maybe Man City.
Yeah, it's Man City or Sporting, but at the round of 16, it's all about, you know, who you get your opponent. So you
Yeah.
never, but I do remember one season they beat all the top teams.
So let's see. Now, next up we have Atletico 1. So that's good. Newcastle qualified as well.
LB up.
Also, Leverkusen qualified as well. Bodo Glint knocked out Inter. Surprise, surprise. Newcastle went through. PSG made a comeback to tie the game to qualify against Monaco. Oh, yeah. So let's now wait for the draw tomorrow and see how that goes and who plays who. And we have a lot to talk about after that.
Oh no, no, we can talk about it a little bit with the PSG draw. Obviously, they're either gonna play Barcelona or they're gonna play Chelsea.
I mean,
So
either way, it'll be a good game.
either
PSG already beat Barcelona, I believe, in the qualifying round. No, in the group stages, I'm sorry. And Chelsea already beat them in the Club World Cup finals. So either way, either opponent will be a good game, will be a good watch. Um, well,
where?
PSG
Yeah, is it
uh,
Chelsea or where?
in the Club World Cup final.
But that's not the same as the Champions
No,
League.
I'm just saying that
Uh,
at the end of the day, it's going to be a good game because PSG want revenge.
No, I want to see PSG versus Chelsea. That's what I want to see.
Hey, again, give me whoever. At the end of the day, we can only play who's in front of us. It's not like you have a choice, right? So
Yeah,
if you give me PSG, then PSG it is. Whoever comes, we shall play. Preferably, I want PSG because Newcastle be motivated to be a Premier League team. So I wouldn't want Newcastle.
Newcastle will be easier for you guys.
No, but at the same time, they'll be motivated to beat us.
they're not on the same level. I don't see Newcastle passing the next round. Whatever their motivation is,
Again, it depends
nobody,
who they play.
listen, nobody's unmotivated once you go to the round of 16. So that is not
No,
it.
no, but the point in front of me
It's
is,
more familiar with Chelsea, that's
and
all.
that's what I'm saying. They're more familiar with Chelsea, where PSG is not.
I think that, listen, if you want to play a team, you say, I want to play Newcastle. That's it.
Nah, I would have won Newcastle. I was
Well,
being PSG. Get them out of the way quickly.
hopefully you get what you want.
Give me PSG, get them out of the way quickly, and then we see who we get next.
Uh,
Now, um, I think Arsenal. I forgot who Arsenal get. It's either Arsenal and Bayern get somebody. I forgot. I think Leverkusen.
Yeah, it's not an important team.
Yeah, and but ultimately Madrid, Man City. Who? How do you see that one going?
Mm, it can go either way, to be honest. Um,
Who do you
obviously,
want?
sorry,
Who do you want? Sporting or Man City?
that's not a good question to ask. I'll take Sporting. I want to keep everything in Portugal. Yeah, comfortable with both.
uh, is
Anyway,
Sporting beat you guys already?
Sporting beat us. I don't think Sporting has ever beat us since I've been watching Champions League. I don't know if you fans will play them because then,
Mhm.
you know,
I think Sporting did beat you guys.
no, they didn't beat us. It's not possible. How can Sporting beat us? No, I don't think I've never seen Sporting beat Madrid in my lifetime since I
Let me
so
see. The
it's
lost
not
Napoli, to Juventus. Oh, they played Bayern and PSG. Got it. Got it.
yeah,
They beat PSG, so true. But
yeah,
anyway,
I want to play them.
no.
So
I hope you get Man City, right? And the Man City does the business to you guys, man.
yeah, Man City is not that dangerous. Plus, all of our players are coming back as we speak.
I mean, Mbappe is injured now. Now they say he might be back in 10 days, but
You
it's the day to day.
know what's good? Sometimes when you have too many stars, it kind of makes things, you know. So if he doesn't come back, we're still fine. It
But you're
seems like
missing quality.
yes, but we have more structure. When Bellingham is coming back, so we only need like two of them. We don't need all three of them, to be honest.
Well,
So,
if you say so, but
well, Pedro is picking up his form. Defensively, they're getting back. Hoyson should be coming back, and
mhm.
what's the other guy's name? Milita. I don't even know if that nigga plays soccer anymore.
Militao. Let me see how long he's out for.
Hoyson should be coming back. Trent just came back. Valverde is picking up his form. The last couple of games, he's been really good for us. Um, so that's one of the key players there. Traumani has been having a solid season so far.
Mhm. Yeah.
And Vinny has picked up his form totally. And they just need to win and keep that feeling because we have a history of doing this. So we can always rely on that spirit.
But the funny thing is, the champions of Europe had to go through uh, the knockout stage. PSG defending champions in the knockout stage, so it doesn't look promising for you guys. However, we know how this is. It doesn't once you get past the knockout round, it doesn't matter where you ended up in the table.
Yeah. As
Yeah.
long as round of 16 at that point, you can't be thinking about where you finished.
Yeah.
Uh, it's a new season. Plus, we're now in March, so now it's like championship games, and obviously, if you're fighting for your league too, that will drain your energy. But you know, so I mean, Man City is also fighting for their league, so that's gonna drain their energy. And obviously, for Man City, they've been picking up, but I still see like they can be gotten.
Yeah, I mean, yes. Well, speaking of Man City, yes, they can be gotten. But at the end of the day, it's not about having a perfect performance, is it?
No, no, no. It's
Yeah.
never really. You never really have a perfect performance. The only team that kind of did it last year was PSG. Once they turned it around, but
Hmm.
they kind of struggled this year. But
Even last year, they kind of scraped through some games because they took Liverpool to the PKs and, so they
yeah,
couldn't really,
if you get to round of 16, quarterfinals, semifinal, there's no easy games.
yeah. But speaking of that, so now that we have all the teams set, who is what percentage? Give me your top four teams that are gonna win and the percentage they're gonna. You feel like they have to win it.
I think Bayern has the highest percentage because they're pretty much done with their league.
Mhm.
Most of their players are healthy. They have all the attributes needed to win it. They haven't done it recently. So I think they would be favored, obviously. And then you can't really talk about winners unless you bring up PSG because they've done it just recently. But it's so hard to repeat that. I would say it won't happen. And then Dembele hasn't really picked up from a lot of injuries, so he's kind of like regressed from that Ballon d'Or level. But I think
Mhm.
he's confidence if he's able to go to say, yes, I am, this player. And we've seen that he can be a game changing player.
Yeah.
The Arsenal, obviously, the number one team in the knockout rounds, number one team in England. They have all the attributes. I think maybe when we were talking about overcoaching, sometimes Arteta can be a little bit, his energy can be a little bit, nervous and can translate to the players. So that's something I think that they can, but I think they have the best defense overall, give or take. Obviously, seems like some of their players are tired now, which makes a huge difference when you're playing these games. Um, every game matters now. So in the league and everywhere, and then they're playing in all four competitions too. So
But
that's good.
how are you gonna say the players are tired when they had the summer off
I wouldn't say it like the summer.
compared to the opponents? Because everybody in I think almost everybody in Champions League were in the Club World Cup.
No, not everybody. Liverpool were not there.
Almost
Barcelona was
everybody.
Barcelona was not there. Um, So I think that I wouldn't put too much emphasis on the Club World Cup and players being tired from their at this point of the season. I wouldn't put too much because you're not just playing one game every week. If you're in multiple competitions, now you're playing about if you're playing four competition, you're playing four games. So
I
that's not
mean,
a
that's true. Yes.
team that's playing in two competitions. So I wouldn't put too much emphasis on that for the teams that played in the Club World Cup, to be honest, because it's about now and how many games that they're playing now over a whole season, not just maybe a 3 4 a month period. So I would say I wouldn't put too much emphasis on that. But obviously, being in all competitions will drain your energy, whether you
Mm,
like.
definitely, yeah.
Yeah, but they're in it. So Bayern, PSG,
Bayern, PSG, Arsenal.
Arsenal, and then the dark horse. I would have to say maybe the team that comes to my mind is Barcelona would be my dark horse. Because
Real Madrid.
it all comes down to basically your opponent you get and the form that you're in, right?
Okay.
But as a team, I would say Barcelona is a better team. As individuals, Madrid have individuals that can change,
I agree.
but those individuals have not done it recently. Well, actually, Jude and Vinny have won it. Valverde have won it,
Mhm.
but a big X factor would be Mbappe. Um,
Yeah.
So depending on what form he is in and how he can, carry the team, but with Barcelona, it's a system, it's a team, and their system, if you can get them, you can get them, right? But it's in that because they believe they can score more goals than you. That's what they do. They apply pressure, keep that high line, and then they're hoping to get more goals than you, which they can do with Lamine, Rafina, and either Lewandowski or Ferran Torres,
Yeah.
and then Pedri's coming back. So and the thing I like about Barcelona is that their system that they always have, regardless of who's coaching them, and then they always develop players to play in that system. So Pedri is a perfect example of that type of Barcelona player, and I think as long as he's playing in there, it's very difficult for teams to get over them. But then they haven't won it. But overall, as a team, I think that they would be one of the better teams that I would say.
Yeah, but speaking of Barcelona, right? Now that we are in the latter stages, or
Mhm.
let's say the round of 16 now, that means you have 16 good teams or 15 other good teams, right?
Yes.
I'm sure any of those teams or whoever Barcelona get in the round of 16 can exploit that high line because they are a much better team.
Yeah, but keep in mind, during the whole season, they won't have their best players available. Usually during these times is when you kind of hopefully have your better players available to
Yeah.
play them. So you might have, you would think it's easy to beat that system, but more times they beat you than, you know, other teams actually beating them.
Yeah, but even with the recent game or with one of Barca's recent losses, we saw how Atletico beat the high line very easily.
All right.
You know,
But
so imagine a team like, let's say Bayern, for example.
it doesn't work like that.
No, but I'm just giving an example. Like, look at Bayern.
I
Look at
understand what
Olise, Kane, Kane even dropping deep, playing as deep as a 6 or 8. And you know that he has those range of passes. Having Olise and Diaz on the flanks who are willing to run in behind, it's going to be a trouble or a nightmare for them. Plus,
yeah,
those two people are very clinical finishers. So, once they get that one-on-one, it's a goal.
okay. Yeah, you have a good point, but what I'd say is not every game, you can't compare one game to another game or one team to another team. Each game is different, obviously, depending on who's also available. And you're talking about Olise, Diaz, and Kane. Barcelona also have their own Rafinha, Lamine, and Lewandowski or Ferran, whatever version you want to take. And I think styles also make fight. Bayern plays a similar type of football to Barca. So they want to control. They also play that high line. So it all goes back to also coaching and how the coaching kind of navigates it. I mean, Hansi Flick is a very good coach. So an experienced coach, he's won it all as well. So uh, that's one game I want to see. I do want to see like you. I would say Arsenal beat Bayern, but it doesn't mean Arsenal will always beat Bayern. It just
Yeah.
means Arsenal was better, and at that time I would say Arsenal was in better form. If I say Arsenal's form now to when they played Bayern, it's not the same. So the form of the team matters, and also which player is gonna step up. I mean, last year Dembele kind of came out of nowhere after
Mhm.
Christmas, so
Yeah.
I haven't seen that player this year to carry his team, and we'll see. Because even like for all the goals Haaland scores, when it comes to big games, I really don't. I wouldn't say I see him much.
I mean, yeah, that's true, but he does his thing. So,
Even
but
yeah, could talk about the top scorers too. Haaland, Mbappe. Who else would you put in that category?
Kane,
Okay, Kane. So
mhm.
guys, I haven't really seen them carry their team through a Champions League season.
Yeah. Let me see who else. So yeah, Haaland, Kane, Gordon.
But
Haaland, Kane, Gordon,
don't man,
Osimhen, Haaland.
it,
Uh, the funny thing is, the reason I'm laughing, Gordon got all his goals against quarterback. That's the funny part.
the funniest thing about that is Trippier take one of the he got a
Yeah.
PK. Trippier wanted to take the PK, and this guy said no.
Yeah, so it's it's funny. But hey, he's still in the Champions League, so
Not for long.
he has again, he has a chance. So
Uh, Not for
we know Newcastle, we know they can be a good team on your day, but they haven't showed that recently. So
I can say for sure there's 0% Newcastle can win.
I mean, again, it depends who they play.
0%.
It,
But
it
it's all about matchups, but I don't see
yeah,
them going, regardless of who they play.
true.
I
But
even I even would take Bodo over Newcastle.
mm, mm, well, let's see. I wouldn't go that far because now this is the time where quality also plays a role. So, uh,
Well, team that beat Inter, I would say would be a quality team. A team that beat the quarterback. I don't even know one single player from quarterback.
hey, but we find out. Next, let's talk Premier League. Now, all roads lead to another London derby, right? Chelsea taking on Arsenal.
Mhm.
How do you see this one?
Either an Arsenal win or a draw, but most likely an Arsenal win.
So no
Um,
chance of Chelsea win?
huh?
No chance of a Chelsea win?
According to the recent statistics, Chelsea can barely score a goal against Arsenal.
Okay.
So if you look at the recent games, the statistics, nothing tells you or says Chelsea has a chance to win. The you just play them in 2 games and they beat you in 2 games and an elimination style format as well. So I think that also there's a mental blockade for Chelsea players
But
as well.
Chelsea scored 2 goals in the first leg, though. And Arsenal scored their goal in the second leg until late in the game. So,
Someone beats you and now you're talking about what?
no, no. What I'm saying, you just said that they haven't been scoring goals. And I'm just letting you know that they did score goals against Arsenal.
The Premier League ties, you haven't been
No,
able to
not
score Premier League tie.
not
And
Premier League, but
uh,
not Premier League, but it's
yeah,
the same team.
well, it's the same team that's been playing them all this while. So in maybe last 5 or 6 games, they still beat you guys.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah,
Yet
so
to beat them, that's true.
I don't know what would change now, especially that Chelsea is not in like a great form. And it's not like Chelsea is flying high, more or less. So if anything happens, I would say the best bet is a draw for Chelsea. But I would think Arsenal will definitely get the win. And the whole thing with the Wolves thing, where you think, oh, they lost or they drew this lesser team. It happens, man. Sometimes when players are playing against lesser teams, they play to their level.
No, no,
Uh,
no, no, no. Don't give me that. No.
no, that definitely happens. I think Chelsea drew some or lost to some unrelevant teams during
In the
this.
last 10 games, Chelsea lost only to Arsenal. And that was
Uh,
the EFL game. They are
They drew who? Who have they drawn?
they drew Leeds and they drew Burnley.
Burnley. Okay, so
And those are both games where they actually had a hand on the game. until their concentration, they lost their concentration, I'll say. So I wouldn't say they're in bad form. They're just not finishing games off right due to lack of concentration. Because the
Okay.
lead game, they were 2-0 up, lost their concentration, allowed them to tie. Burnley, same thing. So it's a matter of margins in those games. It wasn't that it was bad.
Okay. So what makes you think you're gonna beat Arsenal?
I don't
What
think I
what
don't
what does,
think
what does Chelsea do better than Arsenal?
hmm, they score goals actually. They score more goals than Arsenal.
Okay, so according to the statistics for Premier League games between Arsenal and Chelsea,
Hmm.
why have they been losing? And they haven't been able to score those goals against Arsenal.
Well, that I don't know. However, maybe tactics or whatever it is, I don't know. But I'm hopeful that Chelsea can nick a win here.
Hopeful.
I'm very hopeful.
Every fan is hopeful.
Arsenal, it's a better team, but Chelsea can give them a good challenge.
They should give them a good challenge. Uh,
So
yeah, so they should give them a challenge. And obviously, if they draw them, it's not a big deal, to be honest. It will work out good for both teams. Obviously, Chelsea's playing for that top five position. I think definitely secured number four at the moment, and now it's between Liverpool and Chelsea for that top five. So Champions League play is actually, going to be affected too. So there's a lot of pressure on Chelsea, whether they like it or not, more or less than just Arsenal, just because they're chasing the league. I think the 3 points gives them some sort of comfort because they know they still have to go and play against City. And then City's strength of schedule is a lot tougher than Arsenal's. So that's a big advantage there. But obviously, I mean, they're both in the final for one competition. They're both still in the other one, along with Champions League. So anything can happen, but I think if Arsenal can definitely get the win, it gives them a big boost.
yes, if they beat Chelsea, obviously it's a big boost.
Yeah.
But I think Man City are now they're looking at it from a game to game perspective now, where we don't worry about the lead, we don't worry about anything, we just going game by game. Where
No,
where I feel like Arsenal now looking behind and looking at what is Man City doing, and I think that's where it's gonna trip them up.
no, I don't think they're looking at what Man City is doing because what Man City does is irrelevant to what they do. And it's harder to chase than to lead, obviously, because when you're leading, you know what exactly you need to do. Whereas when you're chasing, you can't really make any mistake.
But Man
Um,
City is known for that. They are known to to they are known to be able to go on perfect runs.
Not recent.
This is something that
No,
it
not in,
it's the thing
not
is,
in.
if it was the other way around, saying that Arsenal can catch up to Man City, that's something I would say that's a lie because they've never done it. Man City have done this at least twice,
Yeah,
coming
but
from behind and winning the league. You know, so
they
they
haven't
have
done.
experience in this type of situations.
No, they don't. No, no, they don't. It's not the same teams that they had in the prior past.
No, but it's
Uh,
the same coach,
uh, yeah, it's same coach, but that
same similar quality.
doesn't make any difference. Mourinho is the same coach he's always been, and look at him now. He can't
No,
even win.
but he's not as good as Pep.
He's not as good as Pep.
No,
Okay, well, let me just say it's a lot easier, to lead when you
plus,
know
mind
what
you, hold on. Let me add this to Pep. He won the league with players like Sterling and Sane, who wouldn't want to shoot, who would want to pass in the box until they pass the ball to the net. Now he has more direct, goal
not
threatening wingers and he has Haaland. So if he gets all of them synced up, and we know that Semenyo is a better winger than um Martinelli. Turkey, very skillful. I'm not gonna compare him to Saka, of course not, but he's right up there. Foden can kind of catch form, and Haaland is way better than Jokeris. So if you're looking at pound to pound up top, Man City have way better quality up there, and
Yeah,
we
had a,
know they can be very good in the back. If
they
they can
had
be
a,
very good in the back, yes, and they have a very good goalkeeper. So
okay, so
if
okay,
they all decide to sync up, what's
yeah,
not going on around?
linked up. What does that even mean? Do you think
Be,
player?
being on the same page,
Do you think
not
players?
allowing anything.
Do you think any team goes and plays a game and says, "Oh, we're not gonna sync up today"?
No, what I'm saying is they are capable of doing that if they all decide to sync up
But
because all season seems like they're not being on the same page.
okay. So in regards to the history of Man City, what you're talking about happened like 3 years ago. There were different players. They had a different style of playing soccer. They're a different team now. What are you talking about? They haven't done that in the last 2 years. They haven't strung games, where they go on a run. So, and this year they've had like losses where it didn't even make sense. And I think they're still gonna have because of their schedule. Yeah, okay. So in terms of Man City, obviously the strength of schedule is going to be a lot harder for them to get those games that I believe that they'll need, and they're still going to be playing in the Champions League, FA Cup, and Carabao Cup. And whereas Arsenal, and Man City is not that deep in terms of their depth. Obviously, they got a big boost with Firmino signing with
Mm-hmm.
them. And then even like Haaland, like I said, he doesn't show up in big games. And when he's not scoring, he's really irrelevant. And there's a lot of games where he can be irrelevant for all he's done. Even though he got off to a hot start, it seems that that's really cooled off. The last game was a lot better that he played because now he showed that he can assist. But even like O'Reilly came out of nowhere for them. So that I don't know how consistent he can be too because he's a young player and he hasn't really played in a big games, let's say, in that midfield position. So
Yeah.
we'll see about him as well. So with Man City, they have a lot more to prove than where Chelsea, where Arsenal. There are other players, for lack of, I guess, winning the EPL, they have the experience to win, and they're winners as well. In terms of Gyökeres, he's won in the Portugal league.
I don't
Even
count.
it counts. Even
That's like winning the championship.
no, that's like winning the Club World Cup if you want to compare that. That
Come,
uh,
come
it's,
on.
he has experience winning trophies in the big in the Portuguese league. What's the name? The midfielder who just came in from Spain.
Uh,
Not
Zubimendi.
Sublimente. Um he won with Spain as well. They have experience there. Mourinho too won the Euros with Spain, so they have some championship pedigree there. Declan Rice, he won the Conference League, I think, a couple years ago. You know, and even Odegaard, even though he was young at Real Madrid, he does have that experience of them winning there, even though he didn't really contribute to it. So I would say they have what it takes.
Okay. All right. Well, let's see how it turns out in May, and let's see how the game goes this weekend for Arsenal and Chelsea. But
Uh,
now
And
let's do
one more thing, I think Chelsea, they need to win. If they don't win, they're in big trouble because
Chelsea.
uh,
The thing is, Chelsea will be fine either way because in Premier League is gonna get that fifth spot either way. You don't want to rely on that, but it'll be fun either way.
How they're gonna get the first spot with Liverpool also, and Liverpool's strength of schedule is a lot easier than Chelsea.
But
So
the thing is, Liverpool can is similar to Chelsea, right? Liverpool can drop points at any time. They're not consistent. So as much as Chelsea,
we've seen in the past, Liverpool can go on runs, and they've done it recently. So
no, yes, and then they can drop points at any time.
okay, well Chelsea can do the
So
same thing.
that's what I'm saying. Either way, they're both on in the same boat.
I wouldn't
I
say
feel like Chelsea,
the
I feel like
schedule.
Chelsea be fine.
The schedule. You have to look at the schedule.
Yes, look at the schedule. Look at the games Liverpool were drawing and losing, and who they were losing to.
They're not doing that anymore.
Exactly. But it's possible they can come back. That's the thing. It's not that they have any other different, they didn't buy any players. They have defensive issues. So it's always a possibility where those things can come back.
Well, they just won the last game 1-0, so I think their defense is going
Exactly. And look at how and when they won it. It was
to.
last kick, it just fell to him and he tapped it in. It's not like they played them out of the park or anything crazy.
3 points is 3 points,
I
regardless of
know.
any.
But things like that creep in gradually.
I wouldn't say that. I think it helps you and motivates you, and it gives you more momentum as you get to the end of the season. And that's the signs of championship teams when you're down
That's what we thought with Liverpool. When Salah left, they were
out of the
no, they didn't. That's what happens. When Salah left, they were losing a lot of games, and then they started winning. When he left, they won a few games, and then before he came back, they started losing again. Won one game in Champions League, was like, oh, they are back, and then they went back to losing right back. So it's something that now he has addressed, he has fixed a little bit. Let's see how long it stays. Because we have seen them to be inconsistent in that regard. But let's see. Hopefully it doesn't, but we never know.
yeah. All I'm saying is it's gonna be a big game for Chelsea more than
Oh yeah,
Arsenal.
of course. I mean, every game from now on is a big game for Chelsea because they need the points to get into the top four.
Yep.
So
If you
they need to be Arsenal, they need to be Villa, they need to be Newcastle, and they need to be Manchester United and Man City in that stretch. So
I think one other thing to consider, if you don't make Champions League, you're gonna lose some of your players.
eh, well, we'll see. We'll see.
All
But
those 8 year, all those 8 year contracts, it won't matter.
they'll be fine. They'll be fine. But now let's look at the schedule for this weekend. Give me quick scoreline predictions. Um, or just prediction wins or losses. Villa going to Wolves. Who you got?
I feel that they
All
need
right.
to win.
Okay. Bournemouth, Sunderland,
Maybe a tie.
Newcastle, Everton.
Mm, Newcastle should win, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was a tie.
All right. Liverpool, West Ham.
You'll never walk alone.
Okay. Burnley, Brentford.
Brentford.
Leeds, Man City.
It's gonna be a tougher game than you think because Leeds at home, different animal.
That's true.
This Man City should win. I would not be surprised if Leeds ties them.
You know, handicap.
They're very handicapped.
Man United, Crystal Palace.
Man United should carry with their form. They literally have like 7 days to prepare for a game, so
Okay. Crystal Palace just won, so they should have momentum, but they might be tired.
Conference League as well. So the Europa League or one of those things like today. So now they're gonna be. It's not the same. And these things make a difference.
Yeah. Fulham, Spurs.
Spurs, no. Fulham, maybe.
I give Spurs the first win on this one. The
Fulham,
new coach needs to get his win. I think Fulham is where he gets it.
I
Uh,
don't know what that's what it is. His purpose is
well, he's
they
a
fired
placeholder.
they fired him from Juventus.
Well,
He's a
the fact that he was able to get a job at Juventus means, but
he's a failure, and he has come to a club that is failing.
well, let's see. But I think he gets his
Two,
first win there.
two,
Brighton,
neg-
Forest.
listen, two negatives can make a positive.
Actually, it does in math and science. But hey, let's see. Brighton, Forest.
Who cares? Brighton has nothing to play for. Forest, you never know.
Brighton relegation. So
You never know. I don't even know who the coach is. That
and then
Forest. How many coaches have been fired?
probably like three or four. Now Arsenal, Chelsea.
I have an Arsenal win, possible draw, but I would say 90% Arsenal win.
I go for Chelsea win or draw. But yeah, that's all we have. This is the schedule for this weekend. And thank you guys for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. And we'll see you guys next time. Peace.